from Dick Harfield, who lives in Sydney, Australia. And he writes, I think it is a problematic proposition to say that the kingdom of God is already here on earth as what this church leader, Pastor Kibuloy from the Philippines, is teaching. The decisive battle against sin and Satan has been fought and won by Jesus Christ in Calvary. But he ascended to heaven and has not yet come back to earth. Death must be endured until the second coming and the consummation of the kingdom. It is still a future event, not a present reality.
The first comment is coming from Dick Harfield of Sydney, Australia. He said, it is a problematic proposition to say that the kingdom of God is already here on earth, as what this church leader, Pastor Kibuloy from the Philippines, is teaching. And this decisive battle against sin and Satan has been fought and won by Jesus Christ in Calvary, but he ascended to heaven and has yet to come back. That must be endured until the second coming and the consummation of the kingdom. It's still a future event, not a present reality. Well, when Jesus Christ said in his words, like in Luke 17:20-21, and he said, the kingdom of God is within you. So this is a spiritual kingdom, first of all, because it is not an outward kingdom like like kingdoms that we see in the world, because it involves the soul, the spirit, and the transformation that comes from within. So this is the meaning of why he came and gave us his life to redeem us or to take back what we have lost. So in my message, you can see that the storyline of salvation begins from the deception of Adam and Eve up to the point where Jesus Christ came to redeem or to get back what we have lost, which is the sonship and the kingship, and to give it to the rightful heir, which is Adam and Eve, and in this case, the progeny of Adam and Eve, whoever it is that will come and be given the chance or opportunity to be able to overcome in fulfillment of Revelation 21:7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, that is the sonship and kingship. And he said, I will be his God and he shall be my son, because we've been made a God of ourselves. When he said, no, you'll become gods like him. If you eat of that fruit, you'll become gods like him. Gods like him meaning we can do our own will. We will not mind the will of God anymore. So we are cut off from him. We became gods of ourselves. But when the restoration would come, like Jesus Christ took it from Satan, Lucifer, the devil, who robbed Adam and Eve from the rightful heir of being the son in the sonship and the kingship of everything, owning everything and ruling of everything. The devil took that, and then he even bragged to Jesus Christ in the temptation that I'll give all of this. You see the kingdom of this world. I'll give all of this to you if you just bow down before me, because all of this were delivered to me, he said. Who delivered them to him? By deception, Adam and Eve. So that's why the kingdoms are not buildings, are not governments, are not institutions, are not organizations. They are people. People who manage those buildings. People who owns organizations and institutions. That's the kingdom. So the kingdom of Satan is now present in the lost humanity that has not come to the light of what Jesus Christ has done in the spirit. So they are still owned by Satan, Lucifer, the devil, as he bragged to Jesus Christ. All of these are mine. What are these? Buildings, institutions, organizations? No, people. He owns all the people, because they have become gods to themselves. Satan, Lucifer, the devil, waged war in heaven to replace God, but he did not succeed. So when he saw the greatest masterpiece of God's creation, which is man, and he knows that he'll be manifested, the God that is invisible will be manifested in Adam to be his manifestation, he aborted that plan. And he made man, us, through Adam, the replacement of God. You'll become gods like him. So we became little gods to ourselves by doing our own will, and we didn't mind God's will anymore. But he came back and taught us God's will again, that we can live and be restored back to our original state of being when we were created. And so they did that on the cross of Calvary. When Satan tempted him, I'll give all of this to you. Did he bow down to him and succumb to that? No, he did not. He said, you're mistaken. You should be the one to bow down before me and before God in heaven, not me bowing down to you. So that he was able to overcome and then give it back to the progeny, us, whoever it is that will come, and then take back the sonship and the kingship, which rightfully belongs to us. So that the scriptures are now given for that certain one to come, because by the obedience of one, all will be saved. By the disobedience of one, many have become sinners, us. And then by the obedience also of that one from the fallen Adamic race, like Jesus Christ, our model of obedience, then many will be made righteous. So that is what is in the scriptures. And so I'm here. I was able to overcome. So Revelation 21:7 became a reality in my life. I now was given the sonship and the kingship. That's why I was put into mountains in 6 years, to try me, to really prove, to really say through my freedom of choice that my dedication in following His will is true, my obedience in following His will is genuine, and my dedication, my commitment, my loyalty, my obedience to do His will, no matter what, is genuine. Like Job did not turn away from God. So that is what happened to me. And so I was proven to be worthy to be the replacement of my first parent, Adam, to continue the aborted plan of God in the garden, and continue I did, and then succeeded. And He called me His son. Now, the restoration of the sonship and the kingship has already begun here on earth, fulfilling His prayer, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. He didn't say the date. He didn't say it is for the future plans. He didn't say that. Thy kingdom come when? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He's only waiting for one to do His will here on earth. And then the kingdom has already come. Because the kingdom is the rule of the Father in the hearts and minds of men. And so, if there is one that will come, and He gave me that chance and opportunity, and I was able to overcome, then the kingdom of God has come. This is what Satan, Lucifer, the devil, does not want to happen, because through me, many now will become righteous. Many now will follow the way, because I'll be His audible voice. I will be His temple, His body, His residence, and this is where the father and son relationship begins. The son is the spokesperson, the body, the residence, the father lives within. That's why He said, the words I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that lives in me. I and my Father are one. I inherited the sonship. So it's not a future one. It's here. It's a future reality. If it is just a future event, how will you be prepared to go to heaven when He comes? Will you be preparing like those 10 foolish virgins? 10 virgins, 5 are foolish and 5 are wise. The 5 wise virgins were always prepared. It is a present reality of preparation. But look at the foolish virgins. When the trumpet sounded, that is when they had to prepare, but they were too late because they were foolish. That is when they tended their lamps. So it's not a future event. It's a present reality, and it is now here. That's why I'm here, for that purpose. Praise the Father. Can you read Hebrews 12:23? This is what it says.
Yes, Pastor, in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
Oh, when will we be made perfect? The spirits of just men made perfect. Right now.
Amen.
Praise the Father.